have to shut the window. I'm not. Hooray.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready. We're ready to go. This video has been a long time coming. Everyone always says to us, oh, can we do this video, please, please, please? And every time I put it out on Instagram asking what you guys want to see, this is the one that always comes up the most. So we are showing you everything to do with our wedding so far. We've got the wedding
This is
plans.
the wedding planner, by the way.
Yeah, for those of you that
it's just like, ooh.
Those of you that watched our Disneyland Paris vlogs from back in April, you will know this planner was a significant part of one of the vlogs because it was my birthday present from Ryan the day after he proposed. So we've got our wedding planner, we've got our Harry Potter book as well, which is the kind of notebook that we're using to write down some stuff as well. And yeah, we're just going to go through a bunch of stuff that we have already figured out and let you guys know what's going on. Obviously, just a little disclaimer here, we're not going to be giving you full details of everything that we are doing because we don't want all of you to be turning up at our wedding. No offense, but like it's just one of those things that we don't want to give out all of the details, like the date and stuff like that, particularly as most people that we're inviting have no idea what the date is anyway. So it feels a bit weird to tell the whole of YouTube and not our families.
Bought the invitations. They're sitting somewhere in this room, aren't they? Oh, that's a shame. Well, we have invitations because we saw them on... You saw them on a website, didn't you?
Optimal print?
Yeah, and they were on offer, basically. And we really like the print, and we've been looking at prints on that website and a couple of other websites and been looking for a print that... And we decided on like a flowery floral print that we wanted the print. And then Em showed me that and I was like, oh, it's really nice. She was like, well, these are on offer. So... Yeah. And as you can imagine, they're not cheap. So we're like, well, while they're on offer, we might as well get them. Yeah,
and we did.
We did, but we're not planning on sending them out till the other side of Christmas.
No, we're not doing save the dates because we kind of think that save the dates are a little bit of a waste of money. Sorry to anyone who's done save the dates, but for us, we want to save as much cash as we can. So we're not doing save the dates. We're just sending out our invitations a year or so in advance, just to make sure that everyone's got the date in enough time to be able to say yes or no. So we're not doing save dates, but yeah, we've got invitations. So, yeah. We also had a little bit of a discussion about plus ones, because it's a very common thing for people to have plus ones at Ryan's being wrong.
Ooh.
That's
here.
St. Neots number.
Well, it's Huntington. It says here as well.
Okay.
It can be paused.
You can pause.
It might be the doctor's. Fantastic, thank you ever so much. So we've still got the viewing, but the woman was booked out. Oh.
He's back after what seems like an age. Okay.
Were you recording the whole time?
Yeah. I was saying about plus ones. Yeah, we had a little thought about plus ones. It's quite common practice in weddings to assume a plus one, as in like it will say, you know, John Smith plus one, and then John Smith is allowed a plus one of his choosing. But we are not doing that. We are not doing that. It's to extra people that we probably don't even know that are invited to our wedding, and we're paying for their meals. It would be more than happy for it if it wasn't for the fact that we were paying for the meals, you know. Yeah. We sound really tight in this video. We're not, we're just very sensible with money.
Well, we are tight, but as you said, in a good way, being sensible with money. Like, as some of you may know, because we've mentioned it on Instagram, have we not? As some of you may know, we are saving for a house, then you've got a wedding, and also you've got the extra stuff like paying for a honeymoon, and stuff like that. So it's just like, it all adds up. So actually we're just like, we were talking to some friends and they basically said, lads, they basically said that realistically it's one day. It's about us two. It doesn't need to be this massive extravagant thing where you've spent tens of thousands of pounds and stuff. As long as it's what you want and you're happy with it.
And what we want is a honeymoon.
Yeah, and we're fortunate in the fact that most people would have to book 2 weeks off to go for a honeymoon and have their wedding. We have 6 weeks off. Like, so we would prefer, you know, be very sensible and tight, I suppose, if you want to use that, tight with our money on our wedding day, but still have a very enjoyable day, but then go away for, like, you know, close to 3 weeks, you know, because we have that option, so we'd prefer plug the money into our honeymoon. So that's what we're doing, aren't we?
We're trying to do a cheaper wedding, and then we can go for a bigger, more extravagant honeymoon, which is kind of what we've always really wanted, isn't it? So yeah, plus ones we're kind of cutting out, unless you are on the invite. You're not invited, which brings us nicely.
We're very controversial with our wedding.
The controversial subject with our wedding, which is that we
no children.
No children.
No children.
None. Now, apart from one member of my family who hasn't delivered the child yet, we've warned all children, haven't we? We've warned all parents of children that children are not invited. Yes. I have a cousin in my family who is due to have a baby next month, I believe. So when said baby comes along, I'll be just doing a little bit of a warning over there, just to say we're not inviting children, but you know, please try and make the necessary arrangements because we want you there.
And we have talked to, so I have cousins who also have children, and I've talked to them and said, please don't take it personally. It's because the problem is if you're saying, oh well, we can allow this person, but not you're then you're then having favourites, and that's where you then get into massive issues. Whereas if we have a blanket rule of no children and explain to them, so I said to my cousins, it honestly is not personal. And if you say we can't come because, well, childcare would be too impractical, or even you just don't want to leave your child for a whole day, then we completely understand. Yeah. But thankfully people have been very understanding, the people that we've talked to, and they've said, that's completely fine. I may only make it for the afternoon so I can get back in the evening, or we should be able to make the whole day, but you'll just have to bear with us while we decide.
We absolutely appreciate people trying, like that's the thing. Like even if it's like, actually this was not going to work out, fine. But at least you've told us, and you told us in
advance. And we're prepared for that. Like, it'd be silly for us not to be prepared for that.
And we know kids mean a lot to people, but we don't have them. So we don't get that right now. We do have 2 small bridesmaids.
Potentially.
Potentially, yes, sorry, that's not actually confirmed. We have invited 2 small bridesmaids, who are your little cousins, aren't they? They were going to be my little cousins, first and foremost, but then they're not coming. Because they live in America and it's just too difficult. Yeah. It's also the west coast of America as well, so it's a pretty hefty trip to come for one day.
Yeah, because there's people hopefully coming from the east coast.
Yeah. So I think that's our guest list done. We've sorted that. We've also got groomsmen and bridesmaids sorted as well.
They know.
They all know, and they've all said yes. Mine's probably the most controversial, isn't it?
I don't think it's untraditional. Yeah, untraditional. I don't think it's controversial at all. I think it makes perfect sense.
So I decided that there wasn't any one particular girl in this world who I wanted to be my maid of honour. Usually it's like your best friend, the person that you love the most in the world, the girl that you are the closest to, that sort of thing. And
none of them are actually close, is the issue.
Yeah, exactly. All of my girl friends are either not close enough to me that I'm like, yes, you absolutely have to be maid of honour, or they're everywhere else in the country. So yes, I wasn't close in both ways enough to anybody for me to go absolutely maid of honour. And then I realised that the person that I actually really wanted to be with me on my wedding day, and my best friend in the entire world, was my brother. So my brother is going to be my best man. So we've got 2 best men in this wedding.
Yeah.
Yours and mine. And he has to be accepted.
Funny, because they're going to have to walk down the aisle together. So we're going to make them link arms.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be super weird. Don't do that. So we've got them sorted. I've then got 2 bridesmaids, and you've got 2 groomsmen.
Best man and 2 groomsmen.
Yeah.
My best man happens to be my flatmate and best friend and person that I knew all the way through uni.
Person that you hate the most in the world.
Person that annoys me the most in the world. I can say whatever I want because I don't think he watches these.
So yeah, we've got our bridal and groom party, and we are we're ready for all that to happen. We have a colour scheme.
We do, indeed.
We have a colour scheme, and it's subtly based on something that we both love. Although actually, no, something that you've never experienced.
Oh no, but I mean, if you're speaking in the broader sense, something like that.
Yeah, okay. So we're going with purple and orange, but more of a
Burnt
kind
orange.
of more of a burnt orange,
More
and
garish orange.
we're kind of going for most things like a Cadbury purple, like that deep sort of purple. But again, when we talked about invitations, it was more of like a lavender sort of look. So any sort of shades of purple.
There'll be some lavender in there, won't there? And we'll have like
Sunflowers.
and sunflowers and stuff because it is a summer wedding and we don't want to be too heavy. So we'll have shades of purple, but the two prominent ones that will be our colour scheme are this Cadbury purple and burnt orange.
Yeah.
And they will be the colour of like tie/pocket hole or something like that.
And bridesmaids
to be
dresses.
decided, yes.
And the plan is that the bridesmaids dresses are going to be in this purple, and yours are going to be in the kind of burnt orange, aren't
Yeah,
they?
and the tie.
But my brother will wear the same thing as the groomsmen, but with purple. So he's like my team.
Team bride.
Team bride. So yeah, that's sorted. Colour scheme is based very loosely on Disney Halloween. For those of you that have seen Disney at Halloween, you will know. Or Halloween generally.
I've seen it many times, to be fair, just only in videos.
Videos and pictures.
In vlogs.
So yes, kind of the Disney Halloween is very traditionally purple and orange. Orange happens to be your favourite colour. Purple used to be my favourite colour, but now it's kind of like, I don't really have a particular favourite colour. I always say it's pink.
Pink, yeah.
But I quite like purple, so I'm not really worried. It looks nice. There's a nice combination together. Lavender and sunflowers together is beautiful as well.
And naturally, it's us, so there's going to be like hints of Disney.
Yeah.
But we've said they're going to be very minimal, and it will only be Disney people that will know. So, for example, the colour scheme is one, obviously being the Disney colours at Halloween. Then we may have some. So we're thinking about table names. I suppose that's the next thing.
Table names, things
table
like that.
names. So rather than having table one, table, so we will have like the Snow White table, for example, which may have little. It won't be like obviously decorated, but for example, in the centre of the table with the flowers,
You could have an apple.
we're going to have like an apple and maybe a little dwarf or something like that, you know, just a couple like for each one, like 3 to 5 accessories on a table, but that's still something we haven't really spoken
talked about
It's
accessories
too
and
far ahead,
decorations.
isn't it? Like,
It's quite a long way away, so that brings us nicely on to the date. We're not going to tell you the actual date, but it is in summer, as Ryan said earlier, of 2021. So we've got
just under 2 years.
just under 2 years, which is good because it means it gives us time to pay things off, sort a house out first, that sort of stuff.
And it's more also, I mean, we'll talk in a bit about these, but we've paid for the big things. In a wedding, we've paid for the big things already. They're sorted. So it's more just being able to relax and pay for the little things in
as we go.
Bits and pieces, yeah. Not having to be like, right now we need to go out and get all decorations. We can just be like, oh, let's get a couple of things here. And
So it's a summer wedding, which means it's going to obviously be warm. Well, we hope. We hope it'll be warm. So
I bet it rains.
That's fine. We'll get some cute pictures if it rains. And yeah, we're gonna basically hope for the warmth and see what happens. If it's too warm, like heatwave warm, I think I would cry. Like, I don't want it to be warm. We'd probably say it's in August, can't we?
Yeah, it's in August 2020.
August.
We're just, again, it's just, we're waiting because we want to buy a house first.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. We want to move in together, buy a house, and be able to settle and just chill for a bit, and then we can spend that year, because we're then together all the time, because at the moment we're not, we see each other 2 days a week.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to talk about this stuff because you want to spend time together
without having to talk about like the admin stuff.
Yeah, and we have so many vlogs to catch up on that's what our time basically is spent doing. So we don't have a chance to talk. Like, forget about the wedding. We need to catch up on vlogs. So yeah, like when we're living together, it means we can talk about things in more detail. And even if it's just you're sitting there over dinner and you're just having a casual conversation, actually it develops and you get an idea of what you both want and meeting in the middle and compromises and stuff like that.
But obviously house comes first. It's going to be coming first in the timeline. And just as an aside to that was something that Ryan was on the phone about.
House. Yeah. Exciting.
So next week we think we're going to do a house vlog to talk about our housing situation. So we're not going to go any further into that now. wait till next week. So what have we bought already? Let's discuss that.
Yes.
Venue. The reception venue.
It's been booked.
It's been booked. Deposit has been paid. The
just
full amount hasn't been paid yet.
No, but we're going to do that soon, aren't we? Because then that's all the big ones. Like I said, all the big ones done. So we're just getting ready to pay that off.
And that's somewhere that I have a bit of a sentimental attachment to, isn't it? Like, it's somewhere that I go every week because it's where one of my jobs is, and that sounds really corporal. It's not. I'm in musical theatre. And it's like, it's got this beautiful stage, and it kind of seems a bit bougie at times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you look at it with a big stage, you have like this massive marquee that goes up.
Oh, and the marquee with chandeliers in the middle.
Beautiful.
Like, they've really... Because I was thinking, when we saw... Obviously, I've been in the venue many times watching various productions that have been on and helping with various things. And I was thinking, how on earth do they make this look half decent? I went to a wedding fair that was being held there, and they had the marquee up, and honestly, it looks so good. Like I said, it's this blanket white marquee that droops from the middle. You don't see any of the outside of the hall, and they've got two chandeliers, big chandeliers in the centre, and it looks fantastic.
And you can have like the reds closed, the reds of the stage.
So you can either have the stage open or you can have it closed.
I kind of am tempted to have it closed because it looks more like stagey, doesn't it? And we're very stagey as a couple. So yeah, we've got that venue and that's sorted and booked, and I know the people that work there, which is beautiful. It just kind of, you feel a bit more at home.
The thing that drew us to it originally, we'd looked at a couple of places. That was the last place we looked.
Like beautiful
because then we were just like there. Yeah, we looked at farmhouses
and
hotels and all sorts. And what we're paying for this is 1/5 of the price of the cheapest one we saw out of all of those. So we went for a private caterer, but it was recommended to us by the venue. They use them often. They're the ones that are used, and we contacted them. Absolutely fantastic, and they're really good with dietary requirements. We explained that we will have some guests that have very specific requirements. So and us to a certain extent.
So we basically have now got a 3-course menu with 3 options in each course.
Shall I read them?
No. So that the people that are invited to the ceremony and wedding breakfast let me finish. So that they get the option of what it is that they choose, and when they RSVP to the wedding, they also tell us what their starter, main and dessert are. I don't want to tell them because people that are getting the invitations might see this and know in advance, which is not what we want. We want them to get it with their invitation. So no, we're not telling you what they are. We've also booked the church for the ceremony. We are going for a church. We're going for a church. We should say. Yeah, we're not paid for it yet, but it is booked.
You don't actually, they don't take payment till like a month before.
No, you do.
As in that's really the way the Church of England works, is you go the month before. And it's because each year their prices have a chance, they don't always fluctuate, but they have a chance to fluctuate. So you should be paying the price of the year that your wedding is in rather than, so that's the way to do it, and you just pay it in one chunk. So we've done that. We've booked our photographer. She is the person that did our engagement shoot, for those of you that have seen that. If you haven't, go over to my Instagram, it's linked down below. Go over to that and have a look at our engagement shoot because it's so cute. And she basically did the engagement shoot and got an idea of what we look like in front of the camera together, all that sort of stuff. So we're prepared for the wedding. Realised how much work she had to do. She's got work cut out with us. We're not doing the DJ. No. Not doing the DJ. As musicians, we kind of decided that I've got a PA system, and the venue that we've booked out has also got their own PA system as well that we can use. And all we're going to really do is get an old iPod and stick a whole bunch of songs on it and just let it play. And then the best groom's bridesman, my brother, Em's brother, will basically be, I don't even know if he knows. He does not. He doesn't know that this is just. So he's going to be in charge of music. So we'll have this playlist rolling of songs that we've chosen. We're going to make the playlist, but then we're going to say to him, when it comes to the first dance, this is the song that you need to put on in the playlist, and this is the song we want on directly after the first dance, this is the song we want as everyone's walking in, kind of thing. Also, we're thinking about saying to people, bring your instruments, and we have a lot of musician friends, and then we can just pause the music and people can jam and play whatever they want, and people can create a a quick scratch band, like everyone just get up and play.
I think next steps, we have a cake maker in mind.
We do.
And she offers cake tasting sessions, which I think is the only reason that Ryan wants a cake at his wedding, because he gets a cake tasting session.
But also her flavours are
they're cracking.
Crazy.
They're amazing. So, like...
Are you going?
Sorry.
Okay.
Do you know
Okay, I'll go. So basically, Em will probably add more detail because she knows a bit more than me, but from what I understand, she has like this massive list of like sauces and cream and filling that she can do. And then a massive list of the flavours of cakes that she can do. So even things like salted caramel, cola, like then you have your standard Victoria sponge, chocolate fruit, red velvet, carrot, chocolate, that kind of thing. And you can mix and match. So it may be that we're like, we want chocolate with salted caramel buttercream.
Oh, sounds good.
Right?
Yes.
So she does all these, and we get to basically pick a few and then go do a cake tasting session.
She does a gin and tonic sponge with elderflower buttercream. That would be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be very extra, wouldn't it?
Mm.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to say there'll be one that Em will create, one that I create, and then one that we...
These are tiers, by the way.
These are tiers. We're going to have 3 tiers. And then I assume the smaller one will be the one we agree on.
Yeah.
Because then we keep that one.
Whichever one of ours is probably the more generally liked by people.
Yeah.
So if I said something chocolate based and you said coffee and walnut, mine would probably be the bigger one.
Yeah.
And yours would be the coffee and walnut, or vice versa, whatever. And chances are we'll both agree in any capacity.
Yeah, I'm not exactly
sure,
going to disagree with chocolate, am I?
But it's more me. But I kind of thought you wouldn't necessarily go for a rum and raisin cake. Because I think you'd probably, as much as you love rum and raisin, you'd sit there and go, well, actually, people probably wouldn't eat it.
No, exactly.
So,
but that's the whole point, and we're hoping to do the cake tasting after Christmas at some point.
Quite
in the
soon.
first half, or in fact the first quarter, preferably, of the new year.
Before April.
Yeah.
And she releases new dates in January, so we're going to contact her then. And we're kind of hoping that it will all be alright with the cake tasting. She does like 3 different flavours of cupcakes that we get to try. We might also do a very small fruit cake as well for the older generation who quite like a fruit cake at a wedding. And that's just a quite traditional thing, so we might do that, but we don't eat it. We know a lot of people that don't eat it.
I would eat it if I was very hungry and there was nothing else.
I'm not sure you would, because it would hurt you.
Potentially ceremony music.
We've got somebody.
We've had this conversation, haven't we? We're still not 100%, but we seem to have agreed so far.
I am more... The more I think about it, the more okay I am with the person that we met. He doesn't know this. He's just heard this from me now. We met a guy at the exhibition that we went to who was a classical guitarist.
I really like the idea.
He really likes the idea of classical guitar. I don't get classical guitar. I mean, I'm like, cool, that sounds nice, doesn't it? But like, I really wanted a string quartet because growing up I played violin, my brother played the cello. Like, it's a really strings is like a me thing, you know, and guitar, I've never got it. I don't understand why people want to play guitar. I'm sorry if you do, I just don't get it. So like, I really wanted the string quartet, but we've realised actually it's really expensive to get 4 people in.
Very expensive.
And there's one person that plays the guitar, and I'm sure he could do just as nice a job.
He does like classic wedding songs, are the ones that you'll always be like, oh yeah, of course it's a wedding, like that's going to be. Or he also has the option of any pop or rock song, he can arrange it for classical guitar.
Well, he pretty much said any song ever.
Any song, you can just say, so if you, I don't know, if Em was like, you know what, I really want to walk down the aisle to
Sweet Child of Mine
Meatloaf song or something.
We had a similar idea. Paralysed by the Dashboard Light. That is my wedding song.
Then he will happily arrange that into something where you can tell it's that tune, but in something that sounds very nice and So that's what we're.
Yeah, and I do have an idea for the song that I want to walk down the aisle to. I've already said to Ryan.
I don't know this.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is out loud though, because then they'll hear me.
Oh.
It's very, very, very subtly Disney. And it's an instrumental song
yeah, I know.
in a Disney film. Yeah, it's a very, very subtle Disney reference. Most people have no idea what the piece is, because it's just one of the instrumental scores from a Disney film that most people will have seen, but I'm not sure it will be something that people will know. But that's what I like. I just love the piece, and I think it's very, very beautiful and very regal. So that's kind of what we're going for. And then
suits. I know where I want to get them from, so I'm going for tweed. I want tweed, but like a blue.
Tweedledum.
Tweed.
Carry on.
See what I have to deal with. I would like blue tweed, because that will go quite nice with the white shirt and the burnt orange tie.
Blue?
Yeah.
Your suit's going to be blue?
Navy blue, yeah.
Does that fit with orange and purple?
Oh no, we said grey, sorry,
yeah,
grey.
It was going to be grey.
Yeah, I did want blue, but then we said it wouldn't quite fit with the colour, so we said grey. But either way, like a tweed, and there's this really nice shop that's... they had a shop up north and they've just opened one in London. And I'm going to take all the men down and we'll get fitted. They can fit you and stuff like lads on tour in London. And we will go get fitted for suits, and that'll be good. Yeah. And you've had a few more steps in your dress.
Yeah. So firstly, my bridesmaids dresses. I know the one that I want. It's from a shop online, and they are £23 each.
Huh?
£23 each. That's how you budget a wedding.
£23 for a wedding dress?
Bridesmaids dresses.
Oh. I was like, what?
No, you know when I said I found a bridesmaid's dress I like,
and
it's online.
That's why I was so
each.
confused.
So I like them, and I've shown them to my two bridesmaids who have both said that they also like them. I'm going for short dresses, as in kind of knee-length sort of dresses, mostly because I think the long dresses, I don't like the way that they look similar to the bride, because everyone's then wearing long things. I feel like the bride just needs to be slightly different. So I like the short. It's also summer, so that's nicer for them because it's going to be quite warm, we assume. And also, it's more universal.
I was trying to hold it, no, but...
It's also more universally used, a short dress, so then they can keep it afterwards and possibly use it for, like, you know, any parties or anything that they might go to later.
You've been on a journey with
your dress already. With my dress, and I've not even been engaged like a year yet. So me and Mum were super excited when we got engaged, and we went straight away to our wedding dress shop that I had fallen in love with when I was a child. It's one in the middle of Cambridge, absolutely beautiful. And we went straight there, tried on some dresses, loved it, had a great time. And there was one dress in that appointment that I was like, actually, I really like this dress. This is a really nice dress. But it was so early. It was like May. We got engaged in April. And May was over 2 years before the wedding. So I was like, there's not a chance I'm going to get it now because I know what I'm like. I'll change my mind. Mum was doing some wedding dress research online. She sent me a name of a designer. And the designer's name was Ronald Joyce. And she said, have a look at...
Ronald.
Thanks. Have a look at Ronald Joyce dresses. So I did. And actually I found that they were really beautiful as well. And then we found a local shop that did Ronald Joyce dresses as well as the designer of the dress that I really liked in the first shop. So visited this shop and tried on these dresses. I left the one that I tried on before to the end. So I tried on all the Ronald Joyces, they were beautiful, loved them. Then tried on that original dress
that one
again in a different shade. It was ivory first time and champagne the second time. But I tried it on again and Mum just was like, you lit up, like you changed when you had that dress on. And I was like, oh man, oh no. But I still couldn't commit to it. And everyone says, oh, you'll know it's when it's your dress and you won't be able to say no. But I could say no because it meant spending money. And that's one of the things I can say no to.
Quite easily.
Very easily. So I didn't buy it. And me and Mum are going to go back. I keep pushing the date actually. I keep pulling it forward. I kept saying me and Mum are going to go back this coming May, which is just over a year before the wedding. But now I'm thinking February.
The problem is because when you've seen something that you love so early on,
Yeah.
you have to play the game of, is it too early, but also will it be out of season and not in shops by the time I want it, which is the game you've been playing at the moment.
Which is why I keep pulling it back again. And I think it'll end up being February, and I think I'll go and I think I'll get that dress.
That's exciting.
I do think I think it's the one. Because every time I think about the wedding, every time I dream about the wedding at night, I'm wearing that dress. And to me, that's quite an obvious sign.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So yeah, I do think that's the one. Mum, if you're watching, we're gonna go shopping. When I say if, she always watches. Hey Mum.
Hi Alison. Hi.
Stop tickling Mum's face.
Why is she watching like this?
It's Mum probably. She'll write out like this. Oh, Mum, we love you. So yeah, I think I've found the dress, and yeah, I think that's the one, and I want to go and get it now, because the thing is, now that I feel like that's my dress,
well, anything compare, you know.
I've been looking at other dresses, but I've sat there and gone, it's not my dress, though, is it? You know, and I think that's a sign that I'm ready to commit, and I'm ready to have my dress. So basically, any time in the next 6 months or so, I could have a dress. Yeah, that's the one thing we've agreed on. Yeah,
like, fully.
We're having a post box for our wedding, which is going to be white, and it's got like the whole Elizabeth Regina sort of thing on it. But the fact that it's E&R is cute because it's like Emily Ryan.
So it looks like a traditional post box.
Yeah.
Traditional post box say E&R on it. So.
But it's white instead of red. Yeah. And we are going to be asking people to not give us any gifts. Because we are hopefully going to be moved into our house, and traditional wedding gifts are things for your house.
When you buy a house together.
When you buy a house together.
And it will have a lot of the things already.
Yeah. It's just things like that, or we'll end up getting duplicates of things. We're not going to create like a registered list of gifts or anything like that. Instead, what we're asking for is small donations to a newlyweds fund, which again is something that is actually starting to come into weddings.
It's quite common now,
isn't it?
It's
quite common, yeah.
Because there's so many things you do as a couple. Like, it could either, like, a couple of options. It could go towards the honeymoon, which will be going on.
It could be like
decorating the house.
Yeah, doing up the bathroom, doing up the kitchen.
If we need to do anything to a garden or house, or
could go towards christening of our first child. Like, it could be
we could put it
anything.
away.
Yeah, and just a little bit a little bit of money to start off our married life together.
But we'll make it very clear to people that we don't expect gifts, but neither do we expect anyone to give money. If people want to give money, anything that they give will be like greatly appreciated.
£3, great.
Even if we have cards, because people can put their normal cards,
that's
common for people. For cards, and if people have to put money in them, fantastic. But if not, then we will be like perfectly happy with receiving everyone's thanks and the money appreciation via cards.
Money can be anonymous as well. Like, if you don't want to tell us who you are, then only thing is that you won't get any thanks from us. But if you do, then amazing, we'll send you lots of thanks, and because we will love you lots.
We also accept PayPal donations.
We're going to set up a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. I'll accept checks, and we'll have a chip and pin on the table.
Can you imagine?
But no obligation. That's about it.
Yeah. When we book our honeymoon, we will let you know what it is. But at the moment, we don't know what our honeymoon is because we haven't booked it. So we can't go ahead and say, this is what our honeymoon is, because actually plans might change. They
might change. We have an idea.
We have an idea. Yeah, we do.
We do have an idea that we've been toying with. Well, we have a couple of ideas, but there's one that's
edging its way forward.
Yeah.
But until we've booked it, I don't want to tell you all, because I don't want you to all be like, oh, that's really cool. And then actually be like, oh, actually we can't.
Except from those couple of friends that we've discussed it with.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. That's us. Some people know, but some people do. Some people do. We will see you guys next week for a housey sort of style video. We'll chat to you about that. This will not be the last of the wedding videos that we do. We will update you again in, I don't know, 6 months or so maybe. Yeah, we will speak to you again about this in a few months' time, but next week prepare for a housey vlog and talk about all the adult stuff that we're doing at the moment.
Not much.
We're trying. We will see you all next week for the next vlog. Bye.
Bye.
Now we're finished.
Now they're finished. That was meant to be a raspberry. Just kind of like, just in your ear.